Okay, today I'm going to show you how to put wooden shelves in a metal framed building. So here we are, here we have your typical metal framing materials. You got the metal siding, but this is how I personally put together wooden shelves. These are 2x10s. Got some 2x4s right here. Got 2x4s as the main structural support. But yeah, this is how I did it. I didn't find a lot of information elsewhere on how to do this, so I kind of figured this out on my own. And basically, I'm going from this mess, little portable shelves, to these over here, which is going to free up a lot of room on the side versus what I was dealing with kind of over here. And these shelves are just way too deep. Stuff kind of gets buried throughout. Now, when I first got this building, I went and ordered this type of shelf from like Home Depot or Lowe's or something like this. And it's fine and all, but I admit it was on the cheaper end. So these little platforms, the humidity in southern Louisiana really wore them out, and they're actually sagging. Okay, with everything removed off of this multi-rack system, you can really see that the boards were kind of sagging. Like I said, this was cheap. Uh, that's why I bought it at the time. But now it's time for me to replace this with a little something a little more sturdy. If you notice here at the bottom, the actual uh, legs, if you will, are bent. So I'm gonna do away with this rack system and build some shelves. Okay, now that I have this area cleared up, all the stuff out of the way, cleaned up, I just want to show you my plan. I'm going to put a 8-foot 2x4 on the inside of each metal beam in this area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole through the beam, the metal beam, and through the 2x4, and I'm going to fasten it together with this bolt and some washers. I'm going to do one down low and then one up high. Okay, so what I want to do now is mark where I'm going to drill through the 2x4 and this metal beam right here. So what I'm probably going to do is go up as probably as much as this square is. I think that's a good spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that. I'm gonna bring it all the way around. The reason you want to mark this is because you want this drill bit to stay as perfectly level as possible when you drill through. Okay, so what I did for the bottom, I did the same thing up top. Okay, the same exact locations for these bolts does not have to be uh, exactly, but I'm going to do it just to be consistent and for it to look good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this line right next to the next 2x4 that's going to support the shelves, just to make it easier. It was kind of awkward doing that with them standing up vertically, so I'm going to go ahead and do that while they're laying on the ground. Okay, so I have my 2x4s, the supports for the shelves in place. I haven't drilled yet, but I noticed this problem on that far left. There's no way for me to tighten a bolt in on that far left side because it's the outside of the shed here. So it's not going to be pretty, and I really hate putting a hole on the outside, but I'm probably going to caulk it and seal it. But I'm going to drive that bolt all the way through the outside siding. Okay, I'm going to start with a little pilot hole to help start the process. This drill bit is made from metal. Okay, now that I have kind of a point here on the metal, it's going to help keep this drill bit in place. Same thing for the other side. I'm going to start with this small bit just to get a little pilot hole, if you will. So I went out and bought this 1/2-inch drill bit. This thing was a beast. It was designed for concrete, wood, and plastic plumbing. So if y'all remember the far left side of the metal shed, I had to drill through the siding to get through that metal beam. I realized if I remove this outer trim, it'll give me full access to that bolt, and I'm going to put that trim back in place and you won't even know that it was there. So I don't have to worry about rain getting into my building. Okay, so we got the 2 studs, framing materials, 2x4s, whatever you want to call it, in place. Now I'm going to start making some brackets for the shelves. Okay, so now I'm going to measure from 2x4 to 2x4. We got 56 inches. So that's how wide my shelf is going to be. Okay, for the bracing, this is the design that I came up with. I'm going to use this to prop underneath here, and then I'm going to use this to be the brace right here like that. Okay, now that I have a design, I'm basically going to trace this on my 2x4. This is basically going to be a template from now on, since I'm going to make a bunch of these. Okay, what I did is I traced a bunch of these all ready to go to be cut out. Okay, so I just happen to have some 2x6s that were 2 foot tall, and that's about where I want my first shelf. So I'm gonna use them as a guide, keep me level, and I'm gonna go ahead and install the braces. Okay, now I want to glue the pieces of the brace together. And I'm pushing this against something to keep this from moving. All right, here we go. Okay, to keep that level, I did have to put a little shim right there. You want to make sure it's level both ways. Okay, so what I did is I went ahead and did a pilot hole, 2 pilot holes, and went ahead and started the screw right here. That's gonna be attached right here. I am gonna put a little bit of wood glue in this area. Go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna put wood glue on here because I may actually want to raise or lower this shelf in the future. All right, I got the bracing in place. Let me go ahead and remove all these supports. Get everything off of here. And that is our shelf. That's going to be the finished look. Very sturdy. Okay, I want to show basically a bonus tip. I was kind of having a problem keeping all this square nice and flush when I was pre-making the brackets, the braces. So what I'm going to do is basically put every piece in place and kind of keep it level and square as best as I can. So what I'm going to do is, now that I know the distance between each shelf, I'm going to, what I did is I cut me this little block to know where my next brace starts. So I'm gonna put this right here, and then I'm gonna put my brace like that. This is so I can hold everything in place and keep it square as possible. Alright, now that it's square, flush on each side, I'm going to go ahead and do my pilot holes. I'm going to go ahead and start my screws, put them in place. And look at that. Everything's nice and flush and square. Nice and flush here. Now we can put this piece in place. Kind of hold it square while I drill some pilot holes. I am going to drill another pilot hole, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put my wood glue. I'm going to start my screw. You see how I have that screw sticking out a little bit? I'm going to drop that right into the pilot hole. Go ahead and tighten it down. I'm going to leave a little bit of play to it. And now I'm going to go ahead and drill my second pilot hole. Doing it one at a time kind of helped me keep control over it a little bit better. Okay, we got all 4 shells in place. I am probably going to put one more up top. Probably something a little wider. Who knows? But the 4 is fine for now. Next step is to kind of sand it, clean up any rough edges.